But after 10 years of the old school ways, the paparazzi money shot ways, the dumb giant mountain ways, I flipped. I gave it 10 years of my life. And I thought, if I keep doing this another 10, 20, 30 years from now, nothing's going to be any different. And I started thinking about all the people out there in Bigfooting. Dr. Krantz, who's passed away from cancer, he never saw one. Renee DeHindren never saw one. John Green never saw one. Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum, who has spoken here, has never seen one. Peter Byrne, out there for 40, 50 years, has never seen one. The four horsemen of Bigfooting have never seen one. Yet they're lauded as four major contributors to Bigfooting, but they've never seen them or interacted with them. Give me a break. I realized after 10 years, I'm never going to interact with them again if I keep this up. And my whole goal, for me, was to interact with them. So I thought, you know what? I gave it 10 years the old school way, the dumb giant mountain ape way. I'm going to try it a different way, because this way, after 10 years, isn't working. So there was this fringe group in Bigfooting, the woo-woo crowd, the paranormal crowd, the crowd that was believing in the North American Indian way, who viewed the Bigfoot as a forest people, sentient beings that belong to a tribe, that live in family groups that belong to clans, and clans that belong to tribes. And they have a culture and they have spoken language. I'm going to try it that way. So I flipped. And I started utilizing the Dr. Jane Goodall method. And when I flipped and I'd show up at base camp, they'd toss in rocks or pine cones. On one occasion, Cynthia and I hiked out of camp, came back an hour and a half later, and there was a line of 20 pine cones in a straight line that weren't there when we hiked out. But these 20 pine cones were there on our way back, ending with a glyph, a geometrical glyph that wasn't there, made of sticks and pine cones. That takes intelligence to do that. So I did the Dr. Jane Goodall approach. I was going to habituate them, just like she did with the chimps. So I created a protocol. I would show up to camp, I'd ring a cowbell. Nobody else going out into the mountains would ring a cowbell for a minute. After some time, when I would ring this cowbell, you could hear them running in. I would set up the camp the same way every time. Table went in the same position, chairs went in the same position, tents went in the same position, water jugs went in the same position. Everything was the same every time. Predictability. I would put out gifting bowls, not bait piles anymore. Bait, you bait an animal, you bait a fish, you bait a rat, you bait a cockroach. I stopped baiting them. I I put out gifting bowls. You gift people. You gift force people. You don't bait people, you gift people. And I would put out gifting bowls. And when I put these gifting bowls out, I would wear surgical gloves. And I would wipe these bowls down clean, inside and outside. And I would put food in the bowls, and I'd put the bowls out with these surgical gloves on at sunset every night. And I would pick them up at sunrise the following morning while wearing surgical gloves. So if any prints were left on that bowl, they weren't mine. And they certainly didn't belong to any other people that were accompanying me out there. It took a long time for me to figure out, a long time that I eventually figured out, because I went out there once or twice a month for 2 to 4 nights per trip. So anywhere from 4 to 8 nights a month, every month, for years. Same spot. Took me a while to figure it out, but eventually I figured it out. They didn't want vegetables, they didn't want fruit, they didn't want meat, cooked or uncooked. They wanted the bread products. Because they couldn't get the bread out there in their natural environment. They could get all the fruit they wanted, all the vegetation they wanted, meat, whatever, but they couldn't get bread. They wanted the bread. And when it came to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, this particular family group, they didn't want white bread. They wanted wheat bread. Now you are sitting next to your buddy. You need to elbow your buddy, because he didn't come here tonight to sleep.
Which one here?
You. Okay. They didn't want white bread. They wanted wheat bread. I tried all kinds of jams. They only wanted raspberry jam. They didn't want crunchy peanut butter. They wanted creamy peanut butter. Now I want you to think about all the times I had to go out there and all the nights I was out there to figure that out. A lot of time. I have spent more time out there, as in years, than any of you would ever think of spending out there in the forest. I guarantee you, experts like Dr. Meldrum don't have that kind of boots on the ground time out there in the woods like I do. I guarantee you that the guys on Finding Bigfoot don't have that time, that kind of boots on the ground time out there like I do. Am I claiming to be a Bigfoot expert? Hell yeah. I am. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not being arrogant. When I'm done talking tonight, you're going to know that I actually am. Because I have put in that kind of time. And I do have the results. And I do know what I'm talking about. For most other people, that people laud about, oh, that's so-and-so. No, they don't know him. They don't know much. They don't. You're in the right place. Because you're going to know. Cool thing is you're going to be able to do something with what you know by the time we're done. I'm not just here to share with you about what I've learned. I'm here to actually help you, save you time. You don't have to put in the 17 years that I've put in to get the interactions. I'm here to help you and save you the time, so you can have the interactions much sooner than later. You get to ride my coattails. You get to benefit from my work. And that makes me happy. I want you to benefit from my work. I do. So as I shared, I'd wear surgical gloves. I'd wipe these bowls clean, no prints on them at all. Put the food, put the bowls outside of camp, 150 feet away from camp, behind all these trees and brush, so I couldn't see them, so they could take the food in safety and feel comfortable. And here's just one example, and I could spend all night showing you all the pictures I have, but I'm not going to. This is before, this is after. Two separate pictures. Before, after. Okay, now, you will notice that none of the sandwiches in this bowl were taken from this bowl. You will notice here that this sandwich half is missing. You will notice that the donut is missing. You will notice that the McDonald's chicken wrap is missing. You will notice that this egg right here is missing. Now, the haters, the trolls, the skeptics would always go, "What about little critters? You know little critters are hitting that stuff. Raccoon, other animals out there hitting them, little critters are hitting that stuff." Give me a freaking break.
That's tidy.
Quit being stupid. Seriously. You tell me what raccoon or any other little critter would only take one egg. Only take one sandwich, only take the donut, and leave everything else behind.
Tidy.
And neat and clean. Stop it. Quit being stupid. The forest people are neat and clean. They only take what they want and they leave everything else behind. I have done this 1,000,000 times. I know what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. I am an expert. I know what I'm talking about. This is not a little critter. This is the Bigfoot forest people. Now my son Grady, sitting right over there, age 10, who's been out there with me since he was age 2, was out there with me on this trip. And he pointed out the fact that, Dad, there's the bowl, which was 50 feet away from where this was. So the bowl was carried over here while it sat on this log and ate the McDonald's chicken wrap. And my son pointed that out. Yeah. As I shared, and I'll give credit to Cynthia for this slide, I get emails and PMs and phone calls about, have you tried giving them ... Yes. We've tried meat, raw and cooked. We've tried fish, fruit, grains, veggies, everything. Yes, we've tried that. And the bottom line is they gravitated toward bread products. So look right here. Look at this before and after. Look at all these vegetables. Look at all this fruit. And what's left? They didn't touch the veggies, they didn't touch the fruit, they didn't touch the eggs. But they took the fish sandwich from McDonald's, and they took the bagel, and they took 2 halves of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yes, we have tried all that. They didn't take it. I know what I'm talking about. I've been out there enough times to do it. And unless you've been out there enough times to do all this, you have no grounds to critique me. You have no grounds to judge my work. You don't. Look at the pizza box we left them. They took the pizza and picked off the olives and the mushrooms and put them inside the box and ate the pizza. You tell me what little critter is going to pick off the olives and the mushrooms, put them in the box, and eat the rest of the pizza. Give me a break.